I've been neglecting ruggedized tablets a little bit lately because I've been so focused on the Surface. We've seen a lot of customers who are using Surface out in the field, but the reality is for a lot of people that the device that works in the office is not necessarily the same device that works out in the field for them. Many of our customers find that the reflective screens on devices like the Surface and iPads and things like that really don't work well out here in the bright Aussie sun. Enter the CF20 from Panasonic. This is a replacement for the long-serving CF18 and CF19 Toughbooks. If you've ever seen or used one of those Toughbooks before, you'll remember them as being very tough and rugged, but also pretty heavy and bulky. The CF20 really follows along with the cues from devices like the Surface in that it's a hybrid tablet. Like the Surface Pro, with the CF20 you can simply detach the screen from the keyboard base and walk away and just use the tablet part to do your work. The screen itself is really bright, an 800 nit display. Compared to a device like the Surface, this is a lot more readable when you're outdoors. It's a 1920 by 1200 display, so it's a really nice, modern, crisp display. And it also has both touch and active digitizer. So this is a Wacom active digitizer pen built into the side of the tablet there. The glass is glued down to the display, so that gives you a much more efficient light pass through. And again, it helps that sunlight readability. If you look closely at the design of the tablet here, of the CF20 tablet, you'll see one of the key features in designing a rugged tablet is this here. On devices like the iPad and the Surface, you'll see that the glass goes all the way to the edge. But with the CF20, there's a really nice comfortable buffer zone around the corner, plastic edges, that mean that when I drop this device, it's actually going to bounce and not just shatter the screen. Now, I'm certainly not saying that the CF20 is unbreakable, but you'll find that it is a lot tougher than a typical consumer or office grade tablet. Despite that buffer zone around the edge, the screen is really nicely flush mounted, so we can get into the corners and use the controls of Windows 10 really comfortably. While we're talking about toughness, the CF20 is IP65 rated, meaning that it can resist dirt and dust. One of the tests that Panasonic put this through involves spraying water on it from all sides for an hour to make sure that no water can get inside of it. The CF20 can withstand that test, so if you got caught out in a shower of rain, you'd be just fine with this device. CF20 also comes with an inbuilt 4G LTE mobile broadband modem so that we can put a SIM card inside of this device and get online with it anywhere out in the field. So that 4G modem also has its own dedicated GPS. In addition to that, you can have a U-Blox GPS unit, a dedicated GPS unit built in as well. On the keyboard base, you'll find 3 USB ports with protective sealed covers, a network port, a serial port, VGA and HDMI for running a projector or an external display. There's also the spare battery slot and a full-sized SD card reader. This is all just built into the keyboard base, and you'll notice here on the back of the keyboard base there's even this retractable handle. Little tip for you, you can use this handle to stop the CF20 from toppling over when you want to push the screen right back. But if you want to run the CF20 without the keyboard, there's also a bunch of ports built right into the tablet here. We've got an additional USB port and a HDMI port, as well as a network or Ethernet port built right into the side of the device. And you can plug power straight into it as well. On the back, you'll find that the cover removes of the tablet here to reveal a battery, a removable battery inside the tablet itself. There's an identical battery in the back of the keyboard, so you can interchange those batteries, and you can also, of course, carry a spare battery with you to hot swap while you're in the field. In terms of battery life, I'd expect around about 3 to 4 hours of battery life per battery in the device, so you might get up to 8 hours of battery life from the battery in the tablet and the keyboard together, and of course that's hot swappable as well. There's also docking options, including a vehicle dock, and there's pass-through antennas for GPS and 4G built into the keyboard base and the tablet. But at $6,000 to $7,000 Australian, it's obviously not a cheap option. And of course, many people will say to me, you know what, I could get 3, maybe 4 Surface Pros for that sort of money, and they're right. But that doesn't take into account the fact that most office-based devices like the Surface Pro or an iPad really can't be seen well outside. They just don't cut it. But if your job relies on you being able to read the screen outside, or you work away in a remote location, and you just need a device that is mission critical and it's going to work, then have a look at the CF20, contact us for more information or for a demonstration.